Howdy, guys. Jake here with Happy Pipes. And we're going to talk about our whole house water filtration systems today. If you're interested in point of use, we actually have those as well. RO filters and the smaller filters that go underneath the sink. We do offer those. But the main questions we get is about our whole house water filtration systems. And I want to tell you, it took a long time for me to be able to figure out the best water filtration system for our area. Everybody's water is different. Some way, somewhere, it's being pumped out of the ground and it's getting to your home, whether that's happening in your backyard and you have your own well, or that's happening at your water association where they're pumping the water out of the ground. Here in Mississippi, we don't have water reclaimed. We don't take water out of the rivers, we don't take water out of the lakes and use it for drinking water. We literally pump it out of the ground. It is readily accessible, but it can have a number of things in the water that aren't good. Right? There are bacteria in the water. There's iron in the water. There's heavy levels of calcium and magnesium in the water. There's toxic levels sometimes of iron and all the fluoride and all of these different elements inside of the water that isn't healthy to drink when it's being pumped out like that. Now, in any system, in any waste, in any water system that is, you have a water meter, that water is being pumped through a collection of pipes. And those collection of pipes from time to time break, and people have to do repairs. Dirt, soil can get in there and can stay in a low place of the line, and that can fester bacteria. That's why they introduce chlorine in it to kill it, right? Hopefully, they put enough, and people are monitoring it carefully. And if you saw the article that just came out not too long ago about Mississippi's Water and Wastewater Association crisis that we're having, you understand that a lot of these small water associations it's very hard to keep up with them. They don't have the funding that they need. They're crippled. People aren't doing the inspections as they should be doing. They're failing left and right. And that's scary for us as homeowners with families who are drinking this water. And if you're just drinking bottled water, you're still drinking tap water most of the time from Coca-Cola factories in Atlanta, Georgia, and a few others. It's still the same water. It's not as good, and it's sitting in plastic, and there's also harm there as well. The best thing you can do is filter the water coming into your home so you control that quality. What type of filter are we looking for? Well, I wanted one that didn't require complete filter changes every single time because you shouldn't be penalized. The Water Association has a water main break and fills your filter full of dirt. You shouldn't be penalized by their mistake. You should be able to regenerate, to back flush that filter and keep going like day one. And it took many. There's only a few back flushable style filters on the market. What we also didn't want to do is a lot of other states have where the main water line comes into the house. It's easily accessible. It comes into the garage. It comes into the attic. And people put their water filtration systems there. Well, there's a risk. What if the heat goes out and it freezes and busts? What if it just gets old and a bad fitting or something shifts or something changes and you freeze and bust and your entire house floods? We wanted something that could go outside, right? That wouldn't take up space in your house and wouldn't have that flood risk. So there's a lot of parameters we were looking for the perfect whole house water filtration system. And we finally found it. And that is in the filters that we manufacture ourselves. Now we buy the special canisters and all that. We buy the different material that goes into it, but it's very specific for the water that's here. What we typically see is in wells, we see high iron content. We see a lot of calcium, a lot of magnesium, sometimes pretty high levels of fluoride. Of course, we see bacteria if you're pumping directly out of a well. There's bacteria always in the water, depending on the level. Bacteria exists. It's not all bad, but it's good to make sure we get all that stuff settled. We see copper a lot. We see these different elements, and we were looking for a filter that specialized in these things. And what did we find? After long research, we actually put our own elements in it. It's KDF 85. It's a lignite charcoal. It's a few different other types of media, and it's all NSF approved, right? So these filters come pre-manufactured underneath our specifications from the factory directly for us. That's how we're able to white label them as the filter size that they are, right? So we've got the Happy Pipes 300, 500, and 700, the HP 300, HP 500, HP 700. And we'll get into sizing in just a second. But first of all, we're going to tell you what it does. It is not a complete removal. We don't like reverse osmosis unless you do. Some people like reverse osmosis for coffee, for other things, okay. But reverse osmosis takes everything out of the water. We like trace elements. The body needs some of these elements. We just don't need them to be really high for our plumbing systems, right? Nor for our own plumbing systems, internally or our home's plumbing systems. We need to have a controlled amount. So that's what this filter is doing. It's trapping. Think of the filter as more of a trap, instead of a filter. And then the KDF85 is killing the bacteria. It's really cool. There's a bunch of compounds inside of it that when water goes past it, it reacts, makes microscopic little nano sparks, and those little sparks kill the bacteria in the water. Very, very cool. What that does for your house is it gives you clean water. We're taking out the iron, we're taking out calcium, magnesium, high levels of fluoride, the copper, all of those elements. We're bringing down to the basis. It's a complete, total safe basis, very, very low, zero point 0.3 micron filtration level. So sand and sediment, all that stuff's out of it. And then we're killing the bacteria. It's the best of the best of the best. And then, of course, our filter is back flushable. If you've ever seen a pool filter, it works very similar to a pool filter where you turn the valve and it just reverses the flow off the screens. You know, they get bigger and smaller. So our bigger screens is the start, and then smaller, 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 very, very small. And then when you reverse that, it's able to take all the sediment that's trapped on those and take it out. Everything that's trapped in a certain period of time. And depending on the size of filter that you purchase and how bad your water is and how much water you use depends on your backflush period. We've seen as little as often as every 2 weeks, and then some people, and that's what we try to size, is once a month to every 2 months of back flushing. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to the process. It's very simple and it's manual. There's no electronics involved, no failure points there. You simply turn it, it back flushes, you turn it back, it's done, right? We also offer the service where we can come out and do this for you and keep that clean water going, and it's done on a routine basis. Now, these are installed in the ground. Well, it doesn't freeze in the ground. That's where we want, right? It's not going to, if it's something were to rupture, if something were to bust, it's going to come out in your yard, not in your home, right? So that's what we want. So right past the meter or anywhere from the meter to your house, we can actually dig and place this filter in the ground. It's going to filter out all those things. The sizes are pretty simple. Basically, 1 to 2 bedroom with 1 to 2 people living in the home is the 300. That's for typical water usage. The 500 is for your typical size 3 to 4 bedroom home with 4 to 5 people living in the home. If you've got really bad water and you have a bigger home such as that, and you're using a lot of water, maybe you have a swimming pool, maybe you have whatever that's using this water, then I would advise bumping up a step into the 700 just because it's got more capacity and you're going to be back flushing less, right? Most people end up going with the 500. It's a good size. Just know that if you do use a lot of water in the summertime, you may be back flushing once a week, once every 2 weeks, versus in the winter when you don't have the swimming pool going and everybody coming over to the house and taking multiple showers because of the pool and everything else going on much dirtier in the summertime, then you'll obviously go back to once a month or once every other month. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Again, we filter down to the 0.3 micron. We take out all of those elements. We kill bacteria, and the benefits are astounding for your actual whole home. Now, it's not just about being able to go drink water. Most people call us because they want safe drinking water. Did you know that the body actually absorbs in a 10-minute shower the same thing it does if you drink a 18-ounce fluid glass of water, right? So drinking the water and a 10-minute shower is the same thing because the skin absorbs it. Our skin's the biggest organ in our body. It absorbs it in the same way. And so now you need to filter your shower. Well, they make point of view shower filters. Now you need to filter this because your clothes are getting dirty. As we can protect so much. All the buildup on your faucets, if you see the calcium buildup or turning maybe your brush old bronze, maybe it's turning them a different color, it's deteriorating the metal. It's time to look at getting a whole house water filtration system. It's better for your water heaters, specifically tankless, because of how clean it needs to be able to efficiently filter the water. And then tank water heaters, you would not believe the number of tank water heaters that we go and change out that are full a third or half of sediment in the bottom of the water heater, which reduces capacity and increases the cost of having it. And it's just really nasty to know all this sediment's inside the water heater that then is coming and going and washing all over you every time you go to take a shower or use hot water in general to wash your hands. You're using all these antibacterial soaps, but then the water itself isn't clean. It may look clean, but if you're having odors, if you're having bad taste to the water, and if you're just looking to protect your home's water system, then a whole house water filtration system is for you. Most people don't talk to us about water filters unless they're having some of those issues. But even those of you who have quote unquote good clean water, if you're getting it from the Water Association, you're still getting chlorine, and it's still hard on all your water using appliances. You can really extend the life of those using that. And if you're on a well, of course, we recommend to be able to kill that bacteria that comes from the ground. You can't control what's coming out of the ground. I've seen dead rats inside of wells before, and guys, it prevents the issues like we saw happen in the notorious Flint, Michigan. I'm not a fear-based salesman, but what I am is a realistic business owner who's trying to tell their customers that it's really good to have water filtration. You can protect your home, you can protect your family from even people who don't do things right. Don't let it be, oh, well, if they did this, I could just sue them. Don't let that be your argument. Be proactive, be ahead of it. Don't be reactive to something where someone in your family got hurt, drank some water they shouldn't have. You were experiencing, gastrointestinal issues, you're experiencing headaches. All of these things can stem from not having clean water. So reach out if you've got any questions. We would love to schedule. We can do an on-site. We can do a Zoom call if you'd like to have more questions. We can just do just a simple phone call. Whatever it is that fits your schedule the best, we'd be happy to come out, size the system. If you can get us a water bill, we can really tell you specifically. Past 3 months water bill, we can tell you specifically how large that filter needs to be, especially if it's in peak season in the middle of the summertime. And just let us know. We would be happy to help. Thanks so much for your interest in our whole house water filtration systems.